William Foote Whyte's seminal work, Street Corner Society, The Social Structure of an Italian Slum, stands as a classic ethnographic study that revolutionized the understanding of urban life and sociology. Published in 1943, this groundbreaking text offers an in-depth exploration of the social dynamics within a working-class Italian-American community in the North End of Boston during the 1930s. Through immersive fieldwork, Whyte uncovered the intricate networks, hierarchies, and relationships that shape daily life in this neighborhood, providing a detailed account of how informal social structures influenced behavior and outcomes. Background and methodology. Whyte conducted his research while pursuing his PhD in sociology at Harvard University. His interest in urban sociology and the dynamics of social groups led him to embed himself in the North End, a densely populated and impoverished area dominated by Italian immigrants. He adopted a participant observation method, spending nearly 3.5 years living in the community. Whyte's primary informant and guide into this insular world was Doc, a street corner leader who facilitated his access to the local social networks. Through Doc and other community members, Whyte gained first-hand insight into the cultural norms, informal rules, and power structures that governed the neighborhood. This methodological approach was innovative for its time, as it prioritized qualitative immersion over detached quantitative observation. Whyte's study departed from conventional sociology by focusing on the lived experiences of marginalized communities. His work highlighted the importance of understanding the perspectives of individuals within their cultural and social contexts, laying the foundation for modern ethnography. Key themes. 1. Street corner versus college boys. Whyte divided the community into two distinct groups, the street corner boys and the college boys. The street corner boys were young men who spent their time socializing on street corners, engaging in informal economies, and participating in neighborhood politics. In contrast, the college boys pursued formal education and traditional upward mobility, distancing themselves from the street corner culture. This division underscored the competing values and aspirations within the community. The street corner boys prioritized loyalty, group solidarity, and localized power, while the college boys sought individual success through assimilation into mainstream American society. Social hierarchies and leadership. Whyte examined the complex social hierarchies that defined the North End. Leadership among the street corner boys was informal but highly influential. Leaders like Doc earned respect through charisma, resourcefulness, and their ability to navigate both the formal and informal power structures of the neighborhood. Whyte also explored the dynamics of patronage, where local leaders acted as intermediaries between residents and external authorities. These leaders wielded significant power by resolving disputes, providing access to resources, and mediating conflicts. 3. Networks of reciprocity. Reciprocity was a central organizing principle in the community. Social relationships were built on mutual obligations and favors, creating a system of informal exchange that sustained the neighborhood's cohesion. Whyte demonstrated how these networks functioned as a safety net for residents, offering support in times of need and reinforcing social bonds. Here's the text you requested. 4. Social capital. The concept of social capital, though not explicitly named in Whyte's work, is a key theme in street corner society. The strong social ties within the community facilitated collective action and resilience. Whyte showed how these informal networks provided opportunities for employment, social mobility, and political influence, often bypassing formal institutions. 5. Conflict and adaptation. The North End was a site of constant negotiation between tradition and modernity. As Italian immigrants adapted to life in America, they faced tensions between preserving their cultural heritage and integrating into mainstream society. Whyte highlighted the ways in which these conflicts played out in family structures, community organizations, and individual aspirations. Contributions to sociology. Street corner society was groundbreaking in its methodological and theoretical contributions to sociology and anthropology. 1. Participant observation. Whyte's immersive approach demonstrated the value of participant observation in understanding complex social phenomena. By living among his subjects and participating in their daily lives, he was able to capture nuances that would have been inaccessible through surveys or interviews alone. 2. Humanizing marginalized communities. Whyte's work challenged stereotypes about impoverished immigrant communities. Rather than depicting the North End as a site of chaos or deviance, he revealed its intricate social order and the ingenuity of its residents in navigating adversity. 3. Interdisciplinary insights. Street Corner Society bridged sociology, anthropology, and urban studies. It provided a model for studying urban neighborhoods, influencing subsequent research on topics ranging from gang culture to community organizing. 4. Focus on informal structures. By emphasizing the role of informal social structures, Whyte shifted the focus of sociological research from formal institutions to everyday interactions. This perspective enriched the understanding of how power and influence operate in marginalized communities. Criticisms and limitations. While street corner society is widely celebrated, it is not without its criticisms. 1. Ethical concerns. Whyte's close involvement with his subjects raised questions about researcher objectivity and the potential for exploitation. Critics have debated whether his relationships with community members influenced his interpretations or crossed ethical boundaries. 2. Limited scope. The study focused exclusively on men, largely ignoring the roles and perspectives of women in the community. This gender bias reflects the broader limitations of sociological research at the time. 3. Romanticization of informal networks. Some critics argue that Whyte's portrayal of informal social structures downplayed their potential for exclusion or exploitation. For instance, the same networks that provided support could also reinforce inequalities or marginalize dissenting voices. Number 4. Static view of change. The study's emphasis on stability within the North End overlooked the dynamic forces of economic and social change. While Whyte captured a snapshot of the community, he did not fully account for its evolution over time. Legacy and influence. Despite these criticisms, Street Corner Society remains a cornerstone of sociological literature. Its insights into urban life and immigrant communities continue to resonate in contemporary research. 1. Impact on urban sociology. Whyte's work laid the groundwork for subsequent studies on urban neighborhoods, gangs, and social networks. Researchers like Elijah Anderson and Sudhir Venkatesh have drawn inspiration from Whyte's methods and themes. 2. Relevance to policy and practice. The study's findings have informed policies on urban development, community organizing, and social work. By highlighting the importance of grassroots networks, Whyte emphasized the need to engage local communities in addressing urban challenges. Number 3. Street Corner Society remains in sociology and anthropology curricula. Its accessible prose and rich ethnographic detail make it an enduring teaching tool for students and scholars alike. William Foote Whyte's Street Corner Society is a landmark study that transformed the field of sociology. Through meticulous fieldwork and a deep commitment to understanding his subjects, Whyte revealed the complexity and resilience of a marginalized community. His emphasis on informal social structures, reciprocity, and leadership provided a fresh perspective on urban life, challenging prevailing stereotypes and enriching the discipline. While not without its limitations, Street Corner Society continues to inspire researchers and practitioners, offering timeless lessons on the power of community and the importance of understanding human behavior in context.